Hi, Susie. It is so great to see you, and a huge congratulations on being selected as our Oncology Hero of the Month for November, which is Lung Cancer Awareness. Would love, if you don't mind, just to take a couple minutes or seconds to do a quick intro.
Thank you so much, Brooke. This was a very pleasant surprise. I'm very humbled by it and very grateful. I am Susie Ulloa. I am a nurse. I have been a nurse for a good couple of decades, and probably the second part of my nursing career has been in oncology, all of it in navigation. Initially, I was helping patients with breast cancer and then all kinds of diseases, patients. And then right now, I am very grateful to be working with the lung cancer communities and not only patients and families, but also facilities and providers.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about what you do at GO2 Foundation.
Thank you. So GO2, what we do is we confront lung cancer in all fronts. For a lot of people, GO2 has been more like support for lung cancer patients and families, and that is the truth. We have a help line and support, not only with psychosocial support, but also some navigation and some questions regarding clinical trials and treatments and guidance in that sense. But we also have many different teams, and we work in different fronts. We have some people in advocacy and doing policy work at the Hill, that's boots on the ground. We do research. We have some research partners, whether it is initiated by us or by partners. We contribute to that. We do, as I said, patient and family support, events, fundraising, all those things. And also the team that I belong to is the Excellence in Healthcare Delivery, in which we also assist providers in healthcare systems, facilities, personnel, or individual facilities too. Our interest is to serve the lung cancer population, whether they're at risk or undergoing the disease. And we do that in a myriad of ways, as I just said. We do a lot of education and keep them up to date with guidelines and new treatments and all that.
I will say I've had the opportunity a couple times throughout my career to engage with patients that have been impacted by the great work that is done there, and it is a huge resource to patients. And so we're really grateful for what you do in lung cancer, what your organization does, but would love to just lean in maybe and learn a little bit about yourself and your purpose and what motivates you, and maybe just talk for a couple of minutes about what inspired you to become a nurse navigator in oncology. You mentioned you started nursing and then you switched to oncology. You've had the opportunity to navigate all different types of cancer throughout your career, starting with breast, but what would you say is your purpose or motivation for making that shift?
I think that in a way, I would say that oncology navigation kind of found me in a moment when I was not quite looking for it. And I'm very grateful for that because it has been the highlight of my career. And I am very grateful to still continue to be part of the system, if you will. My own oncology experience as a patient, as a breast cancer patient in 2014, led me to be known in the center where I was treated, and they knew I was a nurse and they were looking for a navigator. And that's how I started. It was more, I would say, coincidental than anything else. And the rest is history. It was like a perfect fit for me. And I have been very lucky, if you will, to have found the opportunity to not only participate in programs that have been already built, but also participate in those that were starting and build things from the ground. So my motivation at the beginning was, what if I had a nurse navigator? At that time, there wasn't one. And then once I learned what we did, I was like, oh my God, it would have been amazing to have had this person during my journey. I feel that the main motivation for me is not only that support and that walking, holding their hand, but also help them be an advocate and a voice, give a voice to those who don't have one, or maybe they speak a little too softly and they need an amplifier for that voice. The psychosocial part of things is what I love the most. I know the patients have a great team of people. They have their medical oncologists, radiation oncologists, genetics people, pathologists, all the specialties. But I feel that that psychosocial part is well, a navigator is very well positioned to take care of those needs and really make a difference in those patients' lives and journeys.
Piece all the puzzle pieces together for them.
Exactly. It's like the glue. It's like the glue,
Yes.
keeping everybody in the know of things, and following the patient, always remembering that this is a patient-centered journey. So I
Absolutely.
think that's the part that has to be paramount to everything we do.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it is so inspiring and probably really reassuring to your patients to, be with someone who's walked a mile in their shoes, if you will. And that is such an inspiration not only to your patients, but I know just in your career, in your personal life in general as well. And so maybe for others that are tuning in and learning more about the nurse navigation role, especially since you've walked your own unique cancer journey, how do you care for yourself and really provide you the time and the separation from work so that you can show up as your best self for the patients that you get to serve?
So I think in the same way that I just mentioned how important it is to remember this is a patient-centered journey, it's very important for us navigators, coordinators, or in whichever position you're in, to remember that we cannot help others unless we're in good shape to do so. That is a very hard line to define, and one that is blurred very often. As you probably know, there's a lot of burnout and people that just get exhausted. And so I feel that even though it may sound as a cliche, I feel that self-care is the answer to that. Whatever self-care looks like for you. It may vary from people to people. There are people that can work 12-hour days, no problem. Wonderful. Make sure that within those days or a couple of you take time off, make sure that you turn off your computer, but also your brain. That's kind of like a pet peeve for me. Like there's got to be a moment when you walk away and just, fill your cup. Remembering that there are several barriers that people experience, and we're here to identify those barriers and hopefully remove them. But also there are some that we cannot. And so it's important to keep in mind that we're not here to solve everyone's problems, barriers, or challenges, because no one really can do that. Keeping in mind that if we keep that perspective, we can help in our best capacity, show up as the very best of ourselves every day, knowing that there will be things that we cannot control and not change. And having a good network, whether it is a network of other navigators that understand and live this every day too, that's an excellent support. And your own network of people in your life, family, friends, significant others, people that remind us that we're people and we're not superheroes, even though we wear a cape very well.
Yeah.
We're not superheroes, even if we want to think of us that way. It's important to fill our cup and walk away at some moments.
Yeah, and I like what you said, not only balancing work and personal life, but even balancing work, recognizing you're not solving world hunger, you're doing the best that you can to make an impact in as many lives as possible. But I think you come in at such a critical time when someone hears the most devastating, phrase or family that you can ever imagine to hear. And unfortunately, you heard that, exact phrase of the words, you have cancer, and you really get to make an impact in your survivorship journey as well. So I know that I've seen the work that you do in different arenas and areas throughout my career, and it's just been an honor to get to know you and really see that impact flourish outside of breast cancer, outside of different organizations. And so just the amount of lives that you've had the opportunity to touch is so impactful and should be something that you're very, very, very proud of. I would say as we wrap up this short segment, I would love to just know, what is the one, advice that you would give a patient, or maybe that patient's significant other, when they hear the words, you have cancer? Like, what is the one thing you wish you heard that you didn't, potentially because you didn't have the opportunity to benefit from a navigator?
I think, and of course, looking back, hindsight is 20/20 always. But if I put myself back in that very moment, it would have been great to hear, you're not alone. I'm going to connect you with X, Y, or Z, whatever that looks like, your navigator, or if the system has a social worker that does that, or a mental health counselor. it's just reminding them that they are not alone, and they may feel lonely, and they will. This is a hard journey, but just reminding them that you're not alone, making yourself available for them. I used to tell my patients, this is my name, this is my phone number. Call me anytime you need anything. There's not a bad question here. I'm here Monday through Friday, X time to whatever time, because we're talking boundaries too. But just that reminder that they're not alone, even though they'll feel that way, they're not. And the stronger the team and the network you have built for those patients, the better journey that can be, I believe.
And honestly, they probably can't hear much more than that, so walking away knowing
Exactly.
all I know is that I'm not alone and I have someone that I can lean into. So I love that, keeping it simple, but making sure that the patients have the opportunity to know that they're going to have support in one way or another, whether it be a navigator, a social worker, or your GO2 foundation, or whatever it may be. And so, yeah, I think, as we wrap up, I want to congratulate you again. I think you just deserve every award in the world for the fantastic work that you do and the lives that you impact. I think having the opportunity to work with navigators has been the greatest joy throughout my professional career, and being able to see at scale so many lives touched, and it's got to be the most challenging role, but the most rewarding at the same time, of really coming in and being able to lift those patients and those family members up when they really need it most. So thank you, and thanks to all the navigators. But thank you specifically, and a huge congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. I feel very proud, and I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate this recognition. Thank you.